Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast series, AI in Real World Architecting, Scaling, and Leading Intelligent Systems. I'm glad whoever could join today for our live session. It's been a while. I had taken personal break for some personal commitments, but I'm glad that we are back to this series and we are on episode 6. In last few episodes, we have been spending time talking about what AI might do for our businesses, our near future, right? But today, I want to shift the conversation to what is happening right now. We are moving from vision to execution because all of us know that it is one thing to launch a pilot, but it's another thing entirely to make it work across the global enterprise, right? And today, joining us to navigate this transition is someone who has lived it many times over, Venkat Kondepati. With over 2 decades of experience in cloud native system and large scale AWS migration, Venkat has a unique knack of taking complex technical initiative and scaling them into core business drivers. Venkat, welcome to our episode. It's great to have you here.
Sure. So myself, Venkat Kondepati, I started my career back in 2001 as a
Oh, nice.
GIS AutoCAD engineer. We just know one software, just open, just start doing capturing designs or
Mm-hmm.
prepare some maps and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then over last 20-25 years of experience, I have gone through many transformations, many changes we
Mm-hmm.
have gone through. And every time there is a disruption to the industry, we were able to learn, adopt, change, go through it.
Right.
Now we are going through another one, but it is now this is a major disruption, I could say, and it's going to change entirely how it will be done. So just to introduce myself, yeah, I did masters in geography and overall around 25 years of experience. Currently, I'm working with Ascent as a data engineering leader,
Mm-hmm.
and before Ascent, I worked for 15 and a half years with S&P Global in
Okay.
India and Canada for 10 years and last 3-4 years in US. So with that, yeah, I have seen how things will
Everything.
change with the infrastructure now. Yeah.
Glad. Thank you for that background. And I can see that you have tons of experience. You have seen the evolution of industry from one phase to another phase. And that's exactly I want to tap into in today's episode to learn more from your experience. So let's dive into our questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to know, like based on your experience for so many years leading this large scale transformation, where do you see most enterprises today? Are they still experimenting with AI or are they really starting to scale it?
So let me start a quick reality from the field.
Hmm.
A lot of enterprises I work with proudly say, we are doing AI.
Hmm.
But when you dig deeper, it usually a few pilots, maybe chatbot, or maybe some dashboard. So very few are actually running AI systems
Okay.
that impact revenue, operations, customer experience at scale.
Hmm.
So I always see technology companies take first chance on any driven changes,
Absolutely.
but the remaining businesses will slowly adopt.
Hmm.
And I have seen this pattern across industries. Innovation labs are active, POCs are everywhere, but production systems are very rare.
Mm.
The organizations that are ahead are done something different. They didn't start with AI. They started with data
Mm.
platform readiness. That's
Mm.
the
Very
key.
good point.
When we built platforms at scale, we didn't say, let us do AI. We
Mm.
said, how do we make data usable, accessible, reliable across the enterprise?
Yeah.
So AI came after that. So the reality is AI adoption is broad, but
Mm.
AI impact is still narrow and selective.
Mm. Very good point. You put it very well. And I can correlate like companies want to adopt AI, but the foundation of data, the platform where it has to be implemented on, is still in naive stage. Probably they have to learn more and make make them more firm and strong to use the AI more effectively going further. That's what I. Very good. But then, based on that analysis, what you said, what is that is causing this AI initiative getting stalled at pilot stage itself? What things corporate can change to make it more productive and making it live in actual usage?
Sure. I have personally seen multiple AI initiatives stall even after promising pilots.
Mm-hmm.
So take one case. Great model,
Mm-hmm.
strong demo, and leadership get excited.
Mm-hmm.
But when we tried to scale, data pipelines were inconsistent, no governance,
Mm-hmm.
no ownership, and within months, the initiative lost momentum.
Yeah.
And that's when it became clear AI doesn't fail because of
Mm.
algorithms, it fails because of ecosystems or ecosystem gaps. The biggest issues I see: data fragmentation,
Mm.
architecture not designed for scale,
Mm.
lack of operational maturity, no ML ops, LLM ops,
Mm.
no clear business KPI. The
Got it.
turning point for organizations is when they stop treating AI as a feature and start treating it as a platform capability.
Got it. Yeah. So we are only looking at the top of the mountain, but the foundation has to be built. Like it has to be stacked in certain way to make it more successful, is what I understand.
Exactly.
That includes data architecture, data pipelines, governance, operations, cross-system collaborations, and everything.
Yeah,
Very good.
ownership too. Yeah,
Yeah. Very interesting, and thank you. I understand that AI is not just it's not a challenge from adaptability, it's because of the um, maturity of our foundation to adopt it successfully makes it harder to go live.
that's right. Yeah,
So like, I will dive deeper in that comment what you mentioned. So how should enterprise think about architecture before they even think about deploying AI? Because that's what you are saying that is one of the most important pillar of the success. So what would be your um, wisdom words for the other corporate industry people to learn from your experience?
sure. I often explain this using a simple mental model. Say
Mhm.
something we are building with platforms where we have done internally, and we are still thinking, preparing our own best practices for entire
Okay.
divisions.
Mhm.
Raw data, insights, action, and measurable impact. So that
Okay.
is, we have raw data everywhere. We get
Mhm.
structured, unstructured, and semi-structured, and it lies everywhere in different
Mhm.
data sources, different uh, places, even file
Correct.
formats.
Mhm.
Then, how do we get insights, action, and measurable impact?
Mhm.
Most organizations are stuck at data and a dashboard. So,
Mhm.
but real value comes when you connect insights to decisions, decisions to action, and actions to outcome. We need to
Mhm.
see that entire loop closed.
Mhm.
To
Yeah.
enable that, you need a strong data foundation,
Mhm.
scalable platform layer, reusable intelligence layer. So in one of our platform, we bring data from multiple sources. We use graph, spatial, and analytical engines, and
Mhm.
most importantly, connect to actions and workflows.
Mhm.
That's the difference. AI is not about insights alone, it's about driving outcomes.
Yeah. But thinking about it, because we are saying that it's like re-engineering the whole machine, right? Now that the old model will not work as it is. At the same time, you have to use those as a data points and then build your new solution. So that's what I say. Like you have to look at every aspect of your existing solution and how can you make it more assistable for our new AI features so that it works in best possible manner. Is that correct summary of your
We have to look at it at a whole picture, but at the
mm,
same time start with one portion of it as a
buckets?
micro transformation. We don't
Mm,
want to do entire transformation. A lot of
mm,
leaders
mm,
set 2 years, 3 years, 5 years strategy,
Correct.
And
Yeah.
by next 2 years, things will change already.
Change.
So we need to take a small unit
Mm,
first, end to end, but have a bigger picture already in your
mm,
mind. When
mm,
you are designing a bigger picture, first have it architecture, then think about a small um, unit or small use case, business
mm,
use case with
mhm.
defined KPIs. What is the exit criteria here?
Oh, okay. Got
So
it.
the feedback loop is small. Uh,
Mm,
Earlier, we used to say max 3 months, but
mm.
now with AI
Every day
revolution,
is
we
new.
don't need like three months. 3 months is too
Mm,
much now.
mm,
Maybe 2 weeks or three
mm,
weeks. So
mm.
that's why we have these agile transformations where every 2 weeks a sprint.
Correct.
And a lot
Yeah.
of big matured enterprises,
Mm,
they're releasing every 2 weeks. Say, for
mm,
example, Microsoft releases Power BI every month. They
Yep.
have a new release. So that way, we take a small portion of it, understand the business use case, define the KPIs, exit criteria, then come up with a solution, do the
Mm,
transformations, and make the foundation strong. At the same time, put the governance and what you say observability. So if we don't have
correct.
governance, then we cannot uh, have the accurate results. But if we
Correct.
don't have observability, we don't know if it is
Mm,
hallucinating the
that is so.
outcome. So we need to
Correct.
figure out those and see the investment versus ROI. Say
Mm,
if we spend today 100K,
mm.
are we getting at least
That much
50K?
benefit from it.
But even if it helps another 50K and for future work and moving forward, so we need to think about those aspects as well.
Mm. So think holistically, but apply in pieces so that you
Exactly.
see that result.
Yeah.
Very good point. Thank you. So now I will dive deeper on your experience because I know you have led multiple migration. I understand more than 60 applications you have
Yeah.
worked on, migrated to AWS. So what architectural decisions made the biggest difference in enabling AI on top of what we discussed so far?
So the migrations I did, like back in the previous company, where they have initiative to close 3 data centers
Hmm.
and
Okay.
move everything to cloud. That's a
Wow.
big initiative,
Yeah.
and it's across the organization, not just one division. Where I
Mm.
was working with one division which has 60 plus applications, but if you
Wow.
take as enterprise level, 460
Mm.
plus applications.
Wow. That's a
So
big decision going
yeah, then
from.
almost a
Right.
half billion investment within that
Mm.
4 years time span with a cloud provider AWS. That time we
Mm.
selected.
Mm-hmm.
So as part of that, we looked at what is our current landscape, like each system, each product. Then
Mm-hmm.
we categorized them into 3 criteria. Either we do cloud native style re-architect completely
Okay.
wherever possible as the first preference. Then go to the second where hybrid. There could be scenarios where we cannot do fully re-architect and rewrite because of the history of it. It might be coming from 20, 30 years, those
Mm-hmm.
products and customers liking it. We cannot re-architect just like that.
Mm.
Hybrid. The third option is lift and shift. Wherever it's a legacy, where we cannot uh, do too much re-architecting and all of that. Only retirement is the only option. But
Mm-hmm.
we cannot build a new platform and retire
As a
in this
replacement.
4 years window. So just
Mm.
lift and shift for now, but refocus on that.
Eventually. Mm.
So
Okay.
when we categorize into these 3 buckets,
Mm.
then a lot of proactive teams took first option and went and did cloud native way.
Mm.
And some teams who has business use cases, strong use cases to be in hybrid,
Mm.
and last case is there is a completely a legacy. We can't do it. And if we have to do it, you have to invest a lot of money. So
Mm.
that legacy. Once we start doing it after third year or fourth year, we have seen 80% already moved to cloud
Moved
and
on.
20% we were struggling. That's where
Okay.
our best practices went and helped them. But
Mm.
at the same time, we defined these legacy ones not to just stay there. If we move the migrations from on-prem and keep it cloud as your data center, you will
Mm.
be spending more money.
Mm. Yeah.
So then we applied best FinOps methods to
Mm.
take care of it and also retiring strategy very strictly. So
Okay.
build a new platform and retire the old legacy stuffs with cloud native container compute flexibility. So the governance, best practices, then security,
Mm,
networking, and FinOps with as a four like a horizontal framework. Then
mm,
all these vertical projects we finished them migrating. After
okay.
successfully migrating to AWS cloud, then we started expanding it to Azure
Mm,
because we wanted to have multi-cloud in case we have
okay.
one outage.
One option.
Then some workloads to GCP as well. So
Okay.
multi-cloud strategy, multi-region, and
Mm,
high active availability. So
okay.
doing all of those enabled us for
Mm,
AI
adaptability.
adoption. So
Mm,
our data sets were in data lake,
mm,
and our data is either Snowflake or Databricks. Then we
mm,
were able to tie in quickly into the AI, Gen AI initiatives and enabling external customers to
mm,
interact with our data sets and insights using assist tools like AI assist tools.
okay. I see the way you have approached it that you first gave them an option to choose what fits best for you out of those three box. You didn't mandate it for everybody like I we want to do. So that like nobody likes change, right? It has to
Correct.
be coming proactively from our operations team too. So they had that say in that strategy, but then later as you progress you use the successful use cases to showcase to them that this is what we have done with other applications, and if you do that you will also benefit from it. So you use the real data to convince other people, and not went with big bang and going together. And once
Mhm.
you tried and tested with one cloud provider, then you expanded to other cloud providers. So very good
Exactly.
lesson from like think again coming back to your like think big picture but apply in the buckets, and then you will see the ROI as you go further into that model. uh,
Exactly.
thank you.
Earlier, the systems used to, when they go down, it used to take hours to bring them up. But
Mhm.
now it's all self healing and self uh, like fixing the issues
Fixing
automatically.
issues.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we got this foundation things right. Probably, I think our like, once you get the foundation right, everything becomes easy to it. But then, even if we get the foundation right, there are things which we have to like when we scale, right?
Mhm.
Money is another like cost of everything. Scaling, everything comes with the cost. So how do we manage to keep everything into control in terms of if I just ask a specific question like AI has a cost, right? When we go with all these new solutions, adopting new solutions, there is a
Mhm.
growing concern about the cost because everything is getting expensive. Like ChatGPT was free for very a long period of time, and now they started charging it even for the personal use. So, how should organization look at this cost of AI and considering when they are planning to go on this journey of AI adoption?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest surprises for executives, right? When we start
Hmm.
at pilot phase, we only use some small few tokens and a small data set, small
Correct.
context. The model is not expensive part. The real
Mm,
cost comes from data engineering, infrastructure, and operations.
mm,
In one of our initiatives, model development was maybe 15 to 20% of the effort,
mm,
but the data preparation, building the pipelines, took the majority of the cost.
mm.
And then monitoring, retraining, governance. So, uh, one second, I need to give it to my wife. There is a call I'm getting.
Sure.
One second.
Sure.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries, that's
So,
fine.
yeah, it's a more monitoring, retraining, governance,
Mm,
and that's where most uh, cost keeps growing.
mm,
So, when organizations say AI is expensive, what they really mean is our architecture is not optimized for AI.
Mm.
So
Okay.
we need to optimize it for AI, how to make our context correct.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
context is most important. If you keep it open, then there like it will hallucinate. It will take more energy. It will
yeah,
not give the result as per the expectations. So and then you will spend more energy, like more time. The team will spend more time to figure out whether the results are as per the expectation or not. Right. So context becomes.
exactly. Yeah,
So then coming context is one of the most important thing, but then how should enterprises decide what to build internally versus what where to leverage the external platforms? Because again, when it comes to cost and then the because the cost is not only what we buy, right? Even the internal team spending time on their infrastructure, uh, employee cost, everything like energy and all that also becomes a um, what you can say alternative cost for this AI initiative, right? So sometimes it might be better to get the solution, ready-made solution from the market rather than spending time out in the house. So what things decide whether to build something in house or leverage the external platform or partners, especially in these Gen AI phase? Because as you correctly said, market is moving so fast, and not
yeah,
every company might be able to keep up with that pace, right? So sometimes probably it is good to get the solution from the experts.
yeah. In my perspective, I have seen organizations make two mistakes:
Mm.
trying to build everything one side,
Mm.
or trying to outsource everything.
Mm.
They both fail. A better approach is build what differentiates you,
Mm.
buy what is commodity, partner where speed matters.
Okay.
So those three approaches will help build what differentiates you. Say, for
Mm.
example, you are confident, and it's your business specific use case,
Mm-hmm.
then cards application will help you. You have to build it. Buy what a commodity is. Say, for example, we have uh, MS Office, for example,
Mm.
or Copilot with our
Mm-hmm.
MS Office Teams. We don't
Mm-hmm.
want to build a Teams platform,
Again, well,
our own system. We just
yeah.
take it, subscribe it, use it. Or
Correct.
even Copilot comes with MS Office. Those things we don't want to build.
Mm-hmm.
But when we wanted to give specific data and our own AI assist, like using external tool instead,
Mm.
we build our own AI assist with our specific data and governance, regulations, policies.
Mm.
If we outsource that, then that becomes a privacy issue, and always we need to
Correct.
care about it.
Mm.
And partner where speed matters. Some cases, say a manufacturing company, they don't want to invest too much on software
Mm.
building and IT solutions. They
Mm.
can take help from people who are experts on it, partner with them, and give the
Correct.
business use cases, and they will come and do it in our house and build them with
Mm.
cloud or whatever we need it.
With the expertise.
So those are the three approaches we need to take. We cannot say one side completely build yourself
Mm.
or completely buy from outside. So we need to balance it. And same using models, data workflows, integration. So your competitive advantage is not the model, it's
Mm.
how you apply it. So
Mm.
we need to figure out how to take advantage of both the sides.
So it depends upon every use case, every company's industry, and the expertise they have in house. So based on that, we have to make that judgment call where to fit into that three bucket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And I think that's where companies have to differentiate themselves from others rather than being the race, like we just want to adopt the AI. But what is useful for us, what is going to be beneficial for us, look from our own lenses, and then they take that call.
Exactly.
So we talked about architect, we talked about cost. Now let's talk more about the execution,
Mhm.
because these are like high performance AI teams who are building these solutions, right? So what does that high performing data engineering team look like today? What are the expertise these people or team members have?
Sure. One thing I have learned leading large teams is AI success is a team sport,
Mm,
not just one particular area, say cloud ops or AI ops takes care of everything. No,
correct.
you need data engineers who understand
Mm,
about your data, where the data sources are, how to bring them together. You
Mm.
need cloud engineers who give you best compute, best GPUs, and best infrastructure. Then we have ML engineers who understands better model and tweaking the model, training and getting the tested data. Then you have product thinkers. Say that means
Mm.
the product side of the people need to be collaborating with.
Mm.
Suppose if I just say take care of everything else without product, we might build efficient, excellent system, but it
Mm.
doesn't meet the
Meet
product
the
needs or
business.
business needs.
Mm.
But more importantly, people who understand end-to-end systems. Right
Mm.
now,
Mm.
anybody can write code. Even a college student is starting their own company and
Correct.
building a platform. I have
Mm-hmm.
visited UT Dallas for some of
Mm.
the capstone projects and competitions, AI
Mm.
startup competitions.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing amazing job. I even say
Yeah.
a freshman come up with an idea and showing a
Yes.
very big AI tool and telling this is what my
Totally
idea
agree.
is and this is how
Mm.
it is all working. And
Mm.
I asked how much time you spent. She said hardly 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
She built
That's
everything
great.
using AI.
Yeah.
So the best team I have seen don't work in silos. Think
Mm.
in terms of outcomes. So the team should be a teamwork, like
Mm.
really pillars of the team, and outcome is more important than like individual successes.
Very good point. I think, and that's how the leadership also have to look at this. Like, and that's where the strategy planning will be once you have your goals defined, once you have your use cases sorted out that this is there, then you have to look at the skill set you require to deliver that solution. And based on that, your hiring strategy has to be managed. And then you collaborate with the teams members who are going to be successful. Because rather than just, because as you said, we to understand that young generation is more compatible and more uh, have hands-on and more quicker on this adopting the AI tool or building something. But at the same time, the expertise, in-house expertise who are working on the business process also matter because even if you build something, if it's not meeting the end product
Yeah,
requirements, it's
yeah,
going to fail, right? We don't want to have a product which is not going to have a usability or market share for our business purposes. So it has to be collaborative. The old meets with new technology and then
exactly.
building solutions.
Yeah,
Perfect. So I'm pretty sure, like you, when you work with a globally distributed system, you must have faced some challenges too, right? Because now that's another thing with AI. Anybody can be anywhere and still build a solution, collaborate with it. But even though we keep saying that we have to collaborate and execute, but I'm pretty sure there are some challenges also to work with this complex AI solution when the team is distributed geographically. So, what is your experience with that in managing the distributed teams?
yeah. I have worked with teams from like global teams like Poland, Romania, in UK, Geneva,
Mm,
Canada, India, US. Right. Having worked with global teams, the biggest challenge is not skill. Everybody
mm,
has skill how to do
mm,
it. It's
mm,
alignment.
mm,
So the people all should be aligned to one common objective or
mm,
team objective, whatever we have it.
mm,
What works? Clear ownership, strong agile discipline, transparent communication. So in large programs, clarity beats complexity. So
mm,
the way I managed is we have a Teams channel
mm.
and asynchronous collaboration.
Okay.
Suppose if we have to keep everybody in one call for 3 hours and
It's
brainstorm,
good.
it takes a lot of time and the time zone doesn't match and
Mm,
schedules doesn't match, all of that. So what I encouraged as my team is, even though we fail,
mm,
just say it in the group chat that we failed. We tried this approach, we failed, we are restarting now.
mm.
So psychological
Okay.
safety. So I always encourage people to fail,
Mm.
but fail
That's good.
fast. Fail
True.
fast,
Uh,
encourage teams
Learn from it.
to speak up.
Mm,
Even a small team member in new joinee in 1 month or 1 week old, doesn't matter. Just
mm,
say, I tried this, I failed, and put it into the group chat.
mm,
Then experts from anywhere in the any of the geographic location will pick that and see, hey, this guy is failing because of this reason. I already know an answer. They immediately respond if they are online. They are not online. When they see it, when they come online, they take that as a first thing or in their list. So that asynchronous collaboration helped me to resolve all these complex issues and define them clear objectives. When we have clarity what we are doing, what are our objectives, and then when we try it, we failed, we retry it. We retry in different methods. When we
Mm.
repeat that cycle every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, then we had more success than working on one specialized expert silo in his own
Doing
way.
it. Mm.
So then if someone thinks that I failed 10 times, so what happens?
Mm.
Nothing happens. We learn 10 different ways doing things.
Things.
And I myself felt 15 years ago, I was
Mm.
doing some prototype.
Mm.
Every week when I come for a status update, I give the same thing. I am working on it. I
Mm.
tried these options and I failed. I
Mm.
failed. I failed. After giving 5 weeks of update, I
Mm.
felt myself that, oh, am I not be successful
Mm.
or am I
Mm.
doing wrong? I
Mm.
asked my manager, am
Mm.
I doing right or am
Mm.
I valuable here? He
Mm.
said, Venkat, you are more valuable than anyone else because you are trying hardest problem.
Yeah.
That's okay. You failed 5 times, five
Mm.
weeks. Maybe sixth week you will come back.
Mm.
Once he gave me that statement, when he said you are still
Confident.
valuable, after seventh week or eighth week, I solved the problem. I
Mm.
solved the problem and brought the solution. So the
Yeah.
same pattern I used to follow. Give psychological safety, yellow, easy, like collaboration, communication as transparent as possible. There is no hiding. There is no penalty for failing or
Mm.
penalty for not doing. Even I felt like today a little tired. I don't want to do it today. I will do it tomorrow. That's okay.
Mm.
Speak up. Or I
Mm.
have some appointment. I wanted to go to a movie. Today I'm not
Mm.
able to work. That's okay. Still,
Mm.
for me, how many hours you worked doesn't matter. How complex problem you are working doesn't matter. How communicating, how are you transparently communicating with your rest of the team, not to the leader. You don't have to
Mm.
communicate to your manager. Your
Mm.
rest of your team members, who is your warriors for your
Mm.
problem, right?
Mm.
So that helped me to build at least 6 to 8 teams across the globe,
Ah.
and they were still performing.
I think my message takeaway from your thing is don't lose the human side. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, we are still human.
Yes.
Even though we are doing work on automation of AI and machine learning and what all things, the human side of it is still matters because more we explore, failure is a part of it. But don't stop yourself from exploring just because you fail. Because as you keep exploring, you will learn more.
Yeah.
And I think failure is the biggest teacher in our life, right? That's what we keep saying that failure teach you more than the success. It's good to failure. But keep that emotional or human side alive even with working with this new solution. So very good.
Exactly.
I mean, you touched the very sensitive part of this AI adoption because sometimes we keep lose track of that in this race. We are still human and we are working together to make everything so we want to make our life easier and not compete with each other by pulling each other down. So very
Exactly.
nice
AI is
message.
our assistant, not our on top of us.
Replacement.
Not
For
replacement,
sure.
not on top of us. It should be under
Mm,
us, helping
mm.
us. Yeah,
Perfect. Very nicely put. Thank you, Venkat, for that sensitive message.
sure.
So, last few minutes I want to spend on the your future outlook on this AI journey. So, where do you see this generative AI creating real enterprise value beyond the hype?
So the real value I see is not in generic chatbots.
Hmm.
It is in enterprise knowledge systems, it's RAG,
Mm.
workflow automation, and decision augmentation.
Okay.
For example, instead of asking, give me insights, we
Mm.
ask, what action should I take and what's the impact?
Okay.
That's where Gen AI becomes more powerful. We
Mm.
just give a data set to Gen AI and say, give me insights. Then we have to think hard to understand that insight and what action I should take.
Mm.
Instead, we just say, what action should I take? And what's
Mm.
the impact of this? Okay,
Mm.
if I don't pay the utility bill this month, what's the impact?
Okay.
The impact is you will get penalty 20%. You have to pay next month. There is no
Mm.
option to like avoid it next month,
Avoid
but you
it.
will pay 20% extra.
Mm.
What
Mm.
happens if I
Sure.
cancel my Netflix subscription, which I am not using it for 3 months? Then
Mm.
you save 60
X
bucks.
amount of it. Mm.
So that's the impact we need to ask based on the whatever insight we are getting.
Mm.
That's where Gen AI becomes more powerful. So it
Correct.
does all the reasoning for us. Then
Uh,
we still validate human in the loop before
mm.
we say press final button.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I see it.
So evaluate the impact rather than how it is calculating the impact is what you're saying. Look at the
Correct.
value of it. Okay, that's a different perspective. Like I've been talking to so many people, but nobody has touched this angle. So this is completely different outlook to look at it. So very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, last question I want to ask you is looking ahead, because as you said, it's moving fast and we cannot predict what will happen in 3, 4 years or anything. I don't know what is a correct time frame given the pace we are in this AI automation, but whatever time frame you have in mind, keep like considering that future state. I want to ask about the future state. What will separate our organizations that successfully scale AI from those who are still experimenting with AI, are getting stalled, as you said, like with the
Yeah.
fancy demos, but not able to apply them in production systems.
Sure. I think in my perspective, next few years, a lot of times we talk in our working group while working for 2 hours every day, how
Mm,
it will be next 2 to 5 years, or like three
mm,
to five years, the situation. Over the
mm,
next 3 to 5 years, the winners will not be the ones who experimented the most.
mm,
The winners will be who ones who built strong foundations,
mm.
invested in platforms, maintained cost discipline, and focused on outcomes. These are the four differentiators between
Okay.
the people who are going to fail versus
Mm,
stall, but successful. So
right.
build strong foundation. That is the data
Mm,
foundation.
mm-hmm.
Invest in platforms like
Mm.
maintain the cost discipline. We cannot have AI like
Doing
billions and
everything.
billions taking out.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
focus on outcomes. So what exactly we are getting from this? If we
Mm,
focus on those three, four key points,
mm,
then but above all, they executed consistently. Like
mm.
a lot of times, what happens when we start the project, we all do everybody focus on
Lot
it,
of
and then a
things.
lot of work, and then after a
Mm.
few months, after a year, we get
Drop
like
the ball.
as a routine work, or it
Mm,
becomes okay. We will do it. We will think about it.
mm,
Then we don't get the result. So
mm.
we need to do execute consistently. Yeah.
Continuous learning, continuously.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, wonderful. That was very insightful session, Venkat. Thank you so much. Anything you want to add into before we close the session? Any piece of advice for our listener or whatever you want to share about our discussion today?
One personal message I would always give anybody whom they are speaking to me is be human. Human centered leadership. When I say
Mm-hmm.
human centered leadership, we are all seeing difficult times in this market.
Mm,
One side
absolutely.
tariffs, one side whatever we have it on the different political situations, and
Mm-hmm.
companies are laying off with AI replacing. With all of these messages, first be calm. Then,
Mm,
if you are in a leadership, try and see how you can help the people who are in need.
mm,
There could be a new graduates or an OPTs who are needing help, or there
mm,
could be people who are lost job after working 15, 20 years and they are looking for job, or there could be some people within your team struggling to understand AI. So if you are familiar with AI, you wanted to help others, take three people responsibility if you can. As a leader like myself, I offer a lot of uh, one-to-one
guidance.
sessions, people
Mm,
who need help when I have my free time,
mm.
and mentor them such a way, keep learning, be
Prepare them
positive,
for it.
be positive, be calm, be positive, and keep trying something new, keep trying something, but
Mm-hmm.
don't overburn yourself. Like if
Mm,
you try 12 hours or 24 hours learning, you won't do anything. Then you
mm.
get burned out in a
Beautiful.
week and 2 weeks.
Mm,
So just do like a job, learn, practice, network, do it. But at the
mm,
same time, people who are in leadership, who can
mm,
make difference,
mm.
try to help the people who are in need.
New generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be human, human centered leadership. That's it.
What a wonderful message. I mean, I'm really very happy with the message and the way you have articulated every your answer, keeping human in loop, right? That human aspect in loop, like that's something very new and very unique about today's episode, and I like it very much because AI is not just about models and tools and architect and discipline governance and everything. That is going to be part of it, but having human aspect in doing all this thing is what will take us further as as a humanity, or we can go beyond the our imaginations together rather than just piling up on each other. So that's a wonderful message. Thank you so much, Venkat.
Sure. Yeah.
And,
And
and
do we have a quick Q&A, or is it going to be end here?
no, I think I have a 11:45 meeting, so I have to drop off at that
Sure.
point.
Yeah.
So I
Thank
wish
you
we
for
had more
taking.
time.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you for taking your time to giving me the opportunity on this platform. And I really enjoyed talking here, Sital. And yeah, I think you are doing a great initiative, and keep continue to the great job. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot.
And it was pleasure talking to you, Venkat. I will stay in touch with you and probably we'll have more conversation in future too again.
Yeah. I'm very happy to do it. Thank you. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.